Hi, my name is Natalia Litvinova and I'm a field engineer at Canonical. And today I want to show you how you can create a self-healing edge Kubernetes cluster on your Raspberry Pis with MicroK8s. MicroK8s is a lightweight, production-grade conformant Kubernetes. MicroK8s defaults to the most widely used Kubernetes options, so it just works with no config necessary. With a quick MicroK8s setup, developers can focus on the project and have a fully working flexible environment for your containers in a matter of minutes.
So, in today's demo, we will be using 4 Raspberry Pis Model 4 with 8GB RAM and 32GB storage, and a PoE switch with 4 ports that will go into Raspberry Pi's PoE heads for power supply. We will install Ubuntu and MicroK8s on all of the nodes, and one of the nodes will contain Portainer, an opinionated graphical user interface for Kubernetes, which we will use to spin up our containers. I will show you how to set this up, and then we will try to power down one of the nodes to see how our workload survives. Let's start by installing Ubuntu Server 2004 on your Raspberry Pis. For this, I will follow the tutorial from our tutorials page. First, insert the microSD card into your computer. Then, you will need to install RPI Imager by following one of these links. Or, if you are in Ubuntu, you can just run. Once this is done, start the imager and open Choose OS menu. Scroll down the menu and click Other General Purpose OS. Choose Ubuntu, and here you can select Ubuntu and see a list of download options. For this tutorial, I recommend Ubuntu Server 2004. Select the image and open the SD card menu. Select your microSD card and finally click Write. This might take a few minutes. Next, we want to configure the Wi-Fi. With the microSD card still inserted in your laptop, open the File Manager and locate the variable partition on the card. Find @C netplan and create the following network YAML file. You can see in here how we're describing the Wi-Fi we want to connect to. Save the file and copy it somewhere for the other Raspberries to use. The next step is to disable network configuration down by Cloud Init. Find @C Cloud, Cloud Config T. And create the following file. After this file, we need to edit the boot parameters for MicroK8s to work properly. Open cmd line text in the system boot partition. And add the following. Finally, extract the card from your laptop and put it in the Raspberry Pi. After waiting a couple of minutes for your Raspberry to start, check your local network devices for its IP address. If none appeared, you may need to log in and reboot your Raspberry Pi with a USB keyboard and a monitor connected to it. If the network is still not working, you can check at CNET plan network YAML to see if all the info is correct. If not, edit the file again and do OK. Now you can connect to your Raspberry Pi. It will prompt you to the password change on the first boot. Repeat this process for the other Raspberries. Before we install MicroK8s, we need to change host names for every node so they would differ and MicroK8s would recognize them properly. Open etc hostname and change your name from Ubuntu to some other. I already did this for all my 4 machines. Now close and reboot. We will begin the MicroK8s installation. I will use version 1.22, but you can use any other latest version you have. Now we need to join the group and gain access to .cube caching directory. And finally create a MicroK8s group. Repeat the MicroK8s installation process on the other machines. In order to enable HA, we will need to generate 3 join tokens and run the join command on the other MicroK8s machines. Copy the token and paste it on the other machine. It may take a few minutes to finish successfully. Repeat the process for all the other nodes, and now let's enable DNS and storage add-ons plus Portainer add-on. You will now find Portainer exposed as a node port service on port 3777. It will ask you to change your password on the first boot. I already changed it, so let's log in. Now you can see the home page. Let's create a simple nginx deployment from Portainer interface. Click on your environment. Then choose Applications. We already have an Ingress MicroK8s controller we deployed with MicroK8s enable Ingress. Let's create with an application form. We'll call it nginx and use the official Ubuntu image. Replicate on over 4 nodes and publish it. You can see here what we will be deploying, a service and a deployment. Now we'll wait while it's being replicated and see it running on all of the instances. Let's access this application. And we have a welcome to nginx. In order to delete it, we can go back to applications and choose to remove it. Alright, now we will need to set up a local DNS server using bind9. With the DNS server configured, we can then use an ingress controller which will load balance across each node. Access etc hosts and add every node's IP and name to it. I already added the names, so you can see it. Next, install bind9 DNS server. We also have it already installed. Now edit the firewall rules to allow it. Then we need to edit the option for the servers. I added the listen on v6, any listen on rule, allow query, and forwarders. Check for errors. If there are none, restart the service and enable it. Test that external connectivity resolves. Okay, and next we will set up MicroK8s testing domain. Edit. And add zone MicroK8s testing. Type master and the path to the file. Now we will need to create this database file. And now let's edit this file. Like this. So we have our MicroK8s testing server with these parameters, and you will need to replace the IP addresses for your Raspberry's IP addresses. And reload everything. Let's check if DNS resolves. It resolves. And after that, we will need to set all of the other machines to use DNS server that we configured. First, it's recommended to set static IP addresses for machines. I already did this on my router. Now let's change the net plan to use our DNS. You should replace DHCP for false, change the address for your Raspberry IP address, point to your gateway, and point to your DNS name server. Close it and apply. Repeat the NetPlan step on each node, including the one that we set the DNS on. Now we can reconfigure MicroK8s DNS add-on on this server. First, we need to disable it. And then enable it again with specifying our server's IP. Now our cluster is ready for action. Let's deploy a simple ingress service. Here we have a deployment. I'm using an official Ubuntu nginx image, simple node port service with node port 380 and the target port 80, and an ingress using our host. Once deployed, you can as a shuttle to any node and check it. Don't forget the DNS parameter. And here we have Welcome to nginx. Let's see how this page will behave when we turn one of the raspberries off. Okay, so we've got our cute cluster in here, and now let me turn one of the raspberries off. If we check the node IP address, it will be down. but the page still works.
Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment.